The black SUVs screeched to a halt outside the community center, like they owned the night. Inside, the folding chairs creaked under 43 restless guests, paper streamers sagging from the ceiling like tired party favors. My parents sat front row, Dad's scowl carving deeper lines into his face. "A gym wedding," he hissed to Mom. "She's proving she can't afford better." Mom fidgeted with her pearls, nodding. "We offered the yacht club. She wanted this." From the storage room bridal suite, I watched through the cracked door. My fiancé, Ethan, adjusted his tie. "Last chance to drop the bomb," he murmured. "Tell them who you really are." I shook my head, smoothing the plain satin gown I'd bought off the rack. 5 years ago, they'd frozen me out for squandering my degree on charity cases. Let them think I was still scraping by. They'd chosen ignorance. I'd chosen impact. My brother Ryan leaned toward his wife Claire. "Think she's finally ready to crawl back to Dad's firm?" Claire smirked. "This budget circus screams desperation. If only they knew 0.5 years earlier, armed with a master's in child psychology, I'd turn down Dad's cushy marketing gig to run a lockdown home for violent teens. They'd called it suicide. I called it purpose. 12-hour shifts turned into certifications, grants, sleepless nights, crafting programs no one else dared try. Word spread. 2 years ago, Governor Elena Reyes tapped me to lead a statewide overhaul of juvenile rehab. 40 staff, 7-figure budget, direct line to her office. Recidivism plummeted 39% in 14 months. Last spring, the White House invited me to shape national policy. Last week, the president rang to say my framework was law, none of which my family knew because they'd never asked. The quartet struck up Pachelbel. Ethan kissed my cheek and took his place. My maid of honor, Jade, squeezed my arm. Showtime. My phone buzzed. I shouldn't have looked. "Elena, Will's down. Motorcade 8-minute out. Save the aisle." I stared until the screen dimmed. She'd joked about walking me down the aisle after Dad refused, too mortified by the venue. I'd laughed it off. Governors don't detour for storage room weddings. Jade's eyes widened. "Everything okay?" "Governor's coming. To walk me." Before she could answer, tires crunched gravel. Doors slammed. Radios crackled. Through the window, 3 Suburbans, agents fanning out like a Secret Service drill. Inside, chatter died. Dad's voice floated over. "What the hell's going on?" I inhaled, pushed the door. Governor Reyes strode in, navy-sheath dress sharp as her reputation, smile warmer than any headline. "Traffic was murder," she announced to the room. "Where's my girl?" Every head swiveled. Dad's jaw unhinged. Mom clutched her purse like a flotation device. Ryan's program fluttered to the floor. Elena hugged me hard. "Wouldn't miss it, kid." She faced my parents. "You must be the family I've heard so much about." Dad managed to squeak. "Sarah's just a caseworker." "Sarah runs my flagship initiative." Elena cut in smoothly. "Reports to me. Briefs the Oval Office. Her models are federal statute now." She let that land, then offered me her arm. "Ready?" Dad lurched forward. "Wait, Sarah." The music swelled. Doors opened. Cameras flashed someone's phone, then another. Elena escorted me down the aisle between metal chairs and carnations from the corner mart. Whispers chased us. "That's the actual governor." "White House, seriously?" "She grew up with them." At the altar, Ethan's eyes shone. Elena whispered, "You built this life from scratch. Own it." She took the seat Dad vacated in stunned autopilot. Vows were simple. Rings slid on. Cheers erupted. At the reception, same hall, local barbecue, grocery store sheet cake. Elena commandeered the mic. "I've met senators who couldn't match Sarah's results," she toasted. "She's why kids who once had 0 options now have futures." Applause thundered. My family clapped on reflex, faces cycling through shock, shame, wonder. Later, plates cleared. Dad approached, eyes red. "We were idiots," he said. Mom nodded, tears tracking mascara. Ryan added, "You tried telling us. We shut you down." I let the silence sit, then spoke. "I needed respect, not rescue. Dad swallowed. Can we start over? So I told them about the boy who'd stabbed a teacher and now mentored freshmen, the girl who'd aged out of foster care running her own coding camp, the data dashboards I'd built at 3 a.m. that saved taxpayers millions and kids from cages. Their questions came tentative, then hungry. For the first time, they listened. As Ethan and I cut the lopsided cake, Dad raised his plastic cup. To Sarah, who aimed higher than any of us imagined. The room echoed it. I met Elena's eyes across the crowd. She winked. The community center lights flickered, cheap but bright. Outside, the SUVs idled, ready to whisk the governor back to the Capitol. Inside, my family lingered, asking for stories, phone numbers, next steps. The aisle I'd walked wasn't marble, but it was mine, and now, finally, they saw it too.